President. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer. But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer.
What I want to respond to.
You know, you gotta get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet?
If they're committing genocide, why invite them to the White House?
Going to occupy land will require no permission from you, from the president, from
driving. They stop there to pay respects to their family members.
We are really privileged to have, great South Africans in the mix. As you said, you'd like to see them as well.
So what I'm trying to say is, we want the.
They're trying to burn the farms down. I grew up in an area in South Africa that.
What happens to me from South Africa? This is what Elon wanted. He actually came here at a different.
You might remember when I spoke to you, and we spoke about golf. You said I should start practicing, and I've started practicing, President. So I'm ready. Thank you very much.
I remember the call. He said 150. You guys are fantastic. Go ahead, talk about that. His name is Peter something. He's a terrible.
If they're committing genocide, why invite them to the White House? I'll be quiet here. That's my question now.
A lot of people are very concerned with regard to South Africa, and that's really the purpose of the meeting, and we'll see how that turns out. But we have many people that feel they're being persecuted, and they're coming to the United States. So we take from many locations if we feel there's persecution or genocide going on. Generally, they're white farmers, and they're fleeing South Africa.
What will it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for President. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. If there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective.
But Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it.
Sure.
And we have documentaries, we have news stories. Is there somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things. It has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Turn the lights down and just put this on. It's right behind you. Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do, with or without you. People are going to occupy land. Will require no permission from you, from the president, from no one.
Shoot to kill. Yamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road you have crosses. Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. I don't. Okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa, that's where.
We need to find out.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced that it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about?
We need to.
What are you talking about?
respond.
You know, You gotta get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. Go back, you ought to go back to your studio at NBC. They ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network. And you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead. His name is Peter something. He's a terrible reporter. Quiet.
That's my question now.
Let's go.
If they're committing genocide, why invite them to the White House? I'll be quiet. Sure, that's my question now.
Let's go.
Thank you so much, President Trump. Annika Larson from ENCA in South Africa. Thank you very much for hosting us. What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation that we've just seen on the screen?
I don't know. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Horrible death. Death. I don't know.
But you know that there are black people who are
White
dying
South
most.
Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. So when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couple say that they were attacked violently.
They're committing genocide, why invite them? So if they are committing genocide, why invite the South Africans to the White House?
May I finish, please, President Trump?
Now, we're going to talk about it, but this is a tremendous, look, this is story recent. These are all people that recently got killed. And I don't know how it can get any worse. These are
President Trump.
Let me clarify that.
Yeah,
Let me clarify that, because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying.
but you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
Nothing happens to
There
them.
is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
The
been
farmers are
utilized.
black. The farmers are not black.
We
I don't
now-
say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites. We're here to talk about it, and I didn't
we
know
will
we'd get
talk about
involved here. The news wasn't fake like NBC, which is fake news, totally. One of the worst, ABC, NBC, CBS, horrible. But if they weren't fake news like this jerk that we have here, if we had real reporters, they'd be covering it. But the fake news in this country doesn't talk about that. But now they have to talk about it. So why did they give us a plane to the United States Air Force? That's what that idiot talks about. After viewing a thing where thousands of people are dead.
I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you.
I wish you did. I'd take it. I would take it. If your country offered the United States Air Force a plane, I would take it.
Okay. But coming back to this issue, which I really would like us to talk about, and talk about it very calmly, including, of course, trade matters, investment matters. So the issues that concern you as the United States.
Those are all recent. Those are all deaths.
Yeah, in many ways, I mean, one should say you are a partner of South Africa, and you are raising concerns, and these are concerns that we are willing to talk to you about. And we are here as a partner, so I'd like us to discuss it, and of course, outside of the media problems, people need to sit down around a table.
But I have a great feeling for South Africa because I have friends. I have a couple of friends, a few friends here today. I have Elon is from South Africa. I don't want to get Elon involved, but I will say that people are fleeing South Africa for their own safety. Their land is being confiscated, and in many cases, they're being killed.
Brian, if I could just ask you a question, Zelensky.
No.
Do you ever? Why don't you wear a suit? 72% of farmers in your country are white. If they flee, do you feel that maybe the economy could collapse? You may not have a gap to fill in those people that need to replace those farmers.
I'd like my Minister of Agriculture, who is white, who comes from an opposition party to mine.
I don't think anyone wants to candy coat that. And it requires a lot of effort to get on top of it. That the two individuals that are in that video that you've seen are both leaders of opposition minority parties in South Africa. Now, the reason that my party, the Democratic Alliance, which has been an opposition party for over 30 years, chose to join hands with Mr. Ramaphosa's party was precisely to keep those people out of power.
That's not a small party. That was a stadium that holds 100,000 people, and I hardly saw an empty seat.
Genocide is a very strong word. I'm wondering if you've made up your mind as to whether you believe genocide is occurring in South Africa or you still have doubts, and if you have made up your mind, why invite President Ramaphosa here today for this conversation?
Well, I haven't made up my mind. I hate to see it from the standpoint of South Africa, but also, you know, I'm trying to save lives.
Coexistence going on in hell. But I don't think two wrongs makes a right. You know, this has been a long time coming. That's why we really wanted to meet you, meet the administration, and see our way forward. You know, we've got some great things going on. Business is getting involved with government. Farmers are getting involved in local municipalities, trying to rebuild some of the infrastructure that's been decaying for a long time. But I feel we need the US to push this thing through.
Where did you do that well? He might have done that even better than he plays golf.
We have too many deaths, but it's across the board. It's not only white farmers, it's across the board. Remember, sir, you and I lived in New York in the 70s. We never thought New York could be what it became. We need your help to stop this awful killing.
There is no doubt about it that we are a violent nation. And the problem in South Africa, it is not necessarily about race, but it is about crime. And we think that we are here to say, how do we, both nations, work together to reset, to really talk about investment, but also help us in how we can have the technology and everything that is needed, President.
So we kept saying there is a security problem, and we're not running away from that. There's criminality. There is just no genocide in South Africa. The issue that he kept raising, or he raised prominently, is the issue of genocide. And when he was asked by one of you, and thank God one of you asked, whether he was convinced that there was genocide, he says, no, he's not convinced. I do believe that there is doubt and disbelief in his head about all this.
You allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land,